Today, we're embarking on a journey through time, exploring the epic story of the United States, from its earliest inhabitants to its place in the modern world. This is a story of conflict, innovation, and the enduring pursuit of an ideal. Our story begins long before the first European ships reached its shores. For thousands of years, North America was home to hundreds of diverse and sophisticated indigenous cultures. From the cliff dwellings of the ancestral Puebloans in the southwest to the complex societies of the Mississippian culture with their great city of Cahokia, these peoples developed unique traditions, languages, and ways of life deeply connected to the land. They were the continent's first trailblazers, farmers, and artists. The late 15th century marked a turning point. European explorers, beginning with Christopher Columbus in 1492, arrived, seeking new trade routes, resources, and land. Spain, France, and England established colonies, forever changing the continent. The English eventually founded 13 colonies along the Atlantic coast. These settlements, from Massachusetts in the north to Georgia in the south, developed distinct economies and societies, but shared a growing sense of identity separate from their mother country. By the mid-1700s, tensions between the American colonies and Great Britain were rising. Colonists felt their rights as Englishmen were being ignored, citing no taxation without representation as their rallying cry. Events like the Boston Tea Party fueled the flames of rebellion. On July 4th, 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, a bold proclamation of freedom penned by Thomas Jefferson. A long and difficult war followed, but with crucial help from France, General George Washington's Continental Army secured victory, and a new nation was born. Winning independence was one thing, building a stable government was another. The first attempt, the Articles of Confederation, proved too weak. So in 1787, delegates gathered in Philadelphia to draft a new framework, the United States Constitution. This remarkable document established a federal system with 3 branches of government, legislative, executive, and judicial, and a system of checks and balances. With the addition of the Bill of Rights, it laid the foundation for American law and governance that endures to this day. George Washington was inaugurated as the first president in 1789, guiding the young republic through its fragile early years. During the 19th century, the United States expanded dramatically. Fueled by the idea of some manifest destiny, the belief that the nation was destined to stretch from coast to coast, settlers moved west. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the country's size overnight. This expansion, however, came at a great cost. It led to the forced removal of Native American tribes, like the tragic Trail of Tears, and sparked conflict with Mexico, resulting in the Mexican-American War and the acquisition of vast territories, including California. As the nation grew, so did a deep and bitter division over the institution of slavery. The Southern economy was heavily dependent on enslaved African Americans, while the North was increasingly industrial and abolitionist. Compromises failed to heal the rift. When Abraham Lincoln was elected president in 1860, Southern states began to secede, forming the Confederacy. The Civil War erupted in 1861, a brutal conflict that tore the nation apart. After 4 years, an immense loss of life, the Union prevailed. The war ended slavery, but the period of Reconstruction that followed was a challenging, often violent struggle to rebuild the South and define the rights of newly freed African Americans. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were an age of incredible transformation. The United States became an industrial powerhouse. Innovations like the railroad, telephone, and electric light changed daily life. Entrepreneurs like Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller built massive fortunes. This era, often called the Gilded Age, also saw waves of immigrants arrive from Europe and Asia, seeking opportunity and filling the factories of booming cities. This period brought great wealth, but also led to social problems, including harsh working conditions and urban poverty, sparking movements for reform. The 20th century thrust the United States onto the world stage. The nation entered World War I in 1917, helping tip the balance in favor of the Allies. The Roaring Twenties followed, a decade of prosperity and cultural change, but it ended abruptly with the stock market crash of 1929, which triggered the Great Depression. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs aimed to combat the economic crisis. The nation's focus shifted again when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, pulling America into World War II. The U.S. played a decisive role, and the war ended in 1945 after the use of atomic bombs, ushering in a new and uncertain atomic age. After World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union emerged as 2 global superpowers, locked in a tense ideological struggle known as the Cold War. This period was marked by the space race, the nuclear arms race, and proxy wars in Korea and Vietnam. At home, a powerful civil rights movement, led by figures like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., fought to end racial segregation and discrimination. Landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 brought about monumental social change, though the fight for equality continues. In recent decades, America has been defined by rapid technological change and increasing globalization. The rise of Silicon Valley and the internet has reshaped communication, commerce, and culture. The end of the Cold War in 1991 left the U.S. as the world's sole superpower, but new challenges soon emerged. The attacks of September 11, 2001 led to wars in the Middle East and a new focus on national security. Today, the nation grapples with complex issues like political polarization, economic inequality, climate change, and its evolving role in an interconnected world. From its indigenous origins to its current status as a global leader, the history of the United States is a complex tapestry of triumph and tragedy, unity and division. It is a story of a nation constantly redefining itself, striving to live up to the ideals of liberty and justice laid out at its founding. Understanding this past is essential to navigating the present and shaping the future. Thank you for joining us on this journey through American history. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. We'll see you next time.